I was questioning where that strength come from, because
Oh yeah,
not
it's the Holy
everybody
Spirit.
can rise from the from the shadows strongly, still keeping intact. And you obviously, moms have different position, because you don't think about yourself only, you think about three little people that you are responsible for as well. So that helps to
Right.
stay with your head above the water. But definitely the faith played a big role for you. That's
Well, even when I was in, and I call it the little concrete house because it was a concrete house. I tried to make it look as pretty as possible, but there were days that I'd have my Bible open to Mark, and Mark 11:22. It's the first words are have faith, have faith in God. And sometimes that would be the only verse I'd be able to read, but I'd run by when it was crazy or when things were happening, I would read that. And I read that still to this day, every night, that whole verse from 22 through 26. And my faith really did get stronger through this period. And it really wasn't, actually saw someone who wrote a book the other day, says, maybe this isn't, life isn't happening to you, maybe it's happening for you. And I really do believe, because at some point you have to decide, am I going to be a victor or a victim? And I was not going to live the rest of my life as a victim. So
yeah.
that was a choice I had to make, and also during that time too, talking about fitness, I was not very fit. As a matter of fact, I was almost 200 pounds before I had my first child.
Oh
So,
wow.
so I had a fork in the road there. Okay. So do I just stay squishy and whatever and just stay like this, or do I fight back? And that's when some of my fitness background kind of kicked in. I said, I got to get myself back together, because I also gained confidence by feeling good and being able to do things. And I
Right.
think that I run across that a lot in what I do now. So it was very important to me. And then having been through what I had been through gave me such great empathy for the people that I would eventually be working with, not just people wanting to get their body back after childbirth, but people wanting to stay fit. Like if someone asks them to go hiking, they feel good enough that they can go. I used to tell my clients, I don't ever want you to say no to an activity if you really want to do it, only because you aren't physically fit to do it.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, if you
There's
got to,
this there's
yeah,
this fun advertising. If body stays in motion, you stay in motion. If the body
exactly.
stays still, you just gonna freeze up. All or your joints and everything is gonna be worse. So
Oh
yeah,
yeah.
that's wonderful. I'm listening to you, and I had a question in my mind, and now I forgot what I wanted to ask you.
Oh no, I'm
But
sorry.
it's no, it's I love that the connection that you put there for God, because uh how big the when you making decisions like that, when you need to get out of really bad circumstances, when you are feeling all alone, yet there is a help out there, how big the mindset plays the role.
Well, I will tell you this. One time I was in church and it says, how has living outside of God's plan worked out for you? And I was like, well, not very well, actually. And I was
Yeah.
like, he didn't have these rules or, guidelines to be a buzzkill. I mean, he had them to protect you, and I used to think, there was a time when I thought, well, maybe the good life is just not for me. Maybe I'm just not going to be
Right.
the one to get it. And I really had to turn my brain around, because God wants me to have a good life, and he wants to use me. I mean, God uses broken people all the time for greatness. And
Yeah.
I finally had to turn my thinking around and say, no, he wants me to have a good life, and I'm going to have a good life and be for his glory, not my own, but his glory. So that
Yeah.
changed everything.
Yeah.
So, mhm.
That definitely, yeah. That's why I'm kind of semi joking, because I know the mindset was the premium force for you. Because if you believe yourself victim, nobody can help you. Like you
Exactly.
will always find the excuses why certain things can be done, or certain things are not for you. And it's just that I would like to encourage everybody, no matter what the situation is. And I know that we all have some really, really difficult moments in our life, that there's always you know, it's a period that you go through, and it either breaks you or makes you.